Today I'm going to be installing this Stealth Hitch's rack only on my 2023 G5 BMW X5. Stealth Hitch instruction manual says I need to remove the entire trunk area of my vehicle to be able to install this. Now I'm not doing the tow hitch, which would require wiring it to my car, so I don't think I need to do all of those steps. And today we're going to find out. So let's get into it. Here are all the tools you'll need to get this job done. In hindsight, my theory was actually right, and if you follow my instructions on the installation of this hitch, you can go ahead and skip to step number 22 in the instructions. The first thing you'll need to do is remove the rear wheel well trim. Try and say that 3 times. There's going to be 3 clips that need to be disconnected. Behind there will be a screw holding in the fascia, but we'll remove that in a later step. You'll need to do this on both sides. So this is a step that's slightly different based on the way that I did the job. I'm adding blue painter's tape along the bottom edge of my light because in my way, I'm not going to be removing the light as the instructions stated, and I'm going to be using a pick tool to remove the bumper. So I just put some blue painter's tape on the bottom edge of the light just to protect it. With the plastic pry tool, remove the light cover trim on each side of the vehicle. There will be bolts underneath on each side here, which we will remove in a minute. We'll use the same tool to remove the reflector. Don't do what I did there. This time I kept a good grip on it when it popped out the one on the left side. And again, you'll see there's a screw behind there. And now I'll be removing these 3 screws that we just revealed. And that's 3 per side. One behind the reflector. And the one that's behind the rear wheel well fascia. Now it's time to get below the vehicle, and we're going to remove 14 screws from the rear bottom of the fascia. Here's a little tip I have. In the cardboard that it came, I'm just going to stick the screws in them as I have them, and I'm going to label them. And then from each side of the bottom panels, there's going to be 6 per panel, so there's going to be 12 total there. Now, if you enjoy installs like this, and if you find this helpful, now's the time that I'm asking. It would be really great if you could subscribe for more content. One more. Got it. So this is the portion where I'm using my plastic pry tools to start to remove the bumper. This all pops out pretty easily. At this point, I've switched over to my small picking screwdriver to start to release the bumper from underneath the light, and we'll get a better view of this on the other side. Now, underneath the rear lift hatch and above the bumper, there are going to be these pins that you need to remove. Now, as you see on this side, I start to pop out the bumper as the first side, and I'm starting to use my pick tool. There's little tabs underneath the light there where it's connecting. You have to kind of push down on those tabs, and I'm checking to see exactly where they were on the other side there. But as you'll see here, it comes down to this pulling motion with my right hand. I'll show you in a second here. I've got some arrows showing the direction. If you pull in this direction, the whole thing pops out very easily. Here we go. You'll be pulling towards you the whole side, and it just pops. And with that, you can use an Allen key as it said in the instructions, or I'm just using my pick tool to basically push down on these plastic tabs, and you hear them all click as they come undone. And once you get those unclicked, the whole bumper is now released. Make sure when you do this step that you hold on to the bumper, because it is still wired to the vehicle and you'll need to hold on to it. This is the PDC sensor plug. Now, as it's released, it's on the right side here. There are two tabs on either side of the plug. You have to pinch those in, and then it releases quite easily. So at this point, I'm removing the kick wand panel, and there are 5 plastic rivets to remove. And you just pop them out, and then they come out. They're reusable. So on the right and left side of the bumper here, there are 2 plastic panels that need to be lifted directly up. And they have like a hard plastic clip in them, but once you get it, it pops out, and it sounds aggressive, but it actually, everything was fine. They're pretty robust clips. There it is.
Okay.
At this point, I've got my deep well socket, and I'm starting to use a breaker bar to start to loosen the 8 bolts holding the bumper on. use my picking tool to remove the wire from the kick panel that's connected to the old bumper here. And I'm gonna have a tip on this part later about when you put the new bumper on with the wire. And I found pretty much the most important part of this whole thing is keeping track of all of the different bolts, screws, everything you're removing, proper labeling. It really is helpful to get it put back together quite easily. Here I am, I'm removing the muffler mount from the bumper, and we'll be replacing these with new ones with the kit. One on the left side here. Okay, now that's off. I'm gonna finish and take the rest of these all the way off. Again, if this is helpful to you and you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it, and it goes a really long way for me. Okay, so at this point, as I'm starting to remove these last bits here, I kind of put my knee up against the bumper to make sure it didn't fall off. So here I'm putting my knee there just to kind of hold it in place as I get the last ones off, because I do not want to drop this. I don't want to scratch my car or anything. Okay, so let's lift this off and get the Stealth Hitch bumper in place. So this is going to be the muffler mounting kit that I'm applying to just the bottom. Just starting by loosely hand tightening everything on. This is the point of the video where I wish I had something that could fit in my drill for this, because I had to hand tighten all of these. So at this point, I'm roughly just putting everything down just to hand tighten, and then I will use the torque later to fully secure them. I'm paying careful mind to the kick harness wire at the bottom here, making sure that it's not trapped behind the bumper. I made sure that it's clear before I tighten anything on there. At this point, I'm using the new screw, washer, and nut to apply the muffler back to the bumper and secure it in. Making sure I have the right size. Oh yeah, nice and tight. And here's I show you the washer goes on first, and then that attaches from below. And here I'm doing the right side of the car. Again, that kick harness wire is kind of there, and you'll see something I do to kind of keep that out of the way, because There's no mount to stick this back into the bumper as it was before, but I found that it was a little bit tight and I didn't like that it was rubbing. At this point, we're going to install the block. So I'm just taking out the screw here from the latch block, putting that in. And again, this one, you know, to have all of the tools that you could use and not just be a home mechanic, it would have been more helpful, but I had to hand tighten this, and that was 1/4 turn at a time. So I definitely took a while to do this portion here. And you can see I had a vice grip on the other side because I only had the 1/15/16 wrench. Took longer, but it still worked out fine in the end. I'll save you guys the trouble of having to watch me do this whole thing. Okay, here we are reattaching the kick sensor. I will only take 3 of the clips now. The width of this bumper is not as wide for this, so instead of the 5, it only uses the center 3 of the clips. So I've now set my torque to 85 foot-pounds. And we're just gonna go through and set everything to 85 pounds. Definitely one of the more satisfying parts of this job. Love those clicks. So we're breaking out the Dremel because we're gonna have to cut out a piece of the rear fascia. And the thing is with this, they have some marks on it for the factory OEM hitch, which this one's different. So basically I took a pencil and I just kind of mirror imaged exactly the way the shape was on the left side, and then I just kind of matched that to the right side. Overall pretty easy. And there's our new fascia. And then I just used the file to kind of clean up the rough edges. Okay, so this is the point with the wire that I'm talking about. This, I didn't like that this was feeling really tight under here. The wire was feeling really tight. So what I see is up here where it connects in here, this was tilted outward, and I found if I kind of just turned it a little bit this way, if I turned it clockwise, it kind of rotated all the wires, which then gave me some slack here. So now it wasn't rubbing against this this bar, because I was scared if it just kept like, even though it was not rubbing so much, but just like as it was tight on there, I didn't want this to fray and then split the wires, and then all of a sudden my rear sensor for the lift gate would not be functioning. Just wanted to point that out. If you find that yourself, you could just turn this whole thing in here, this whole bunch together, just kind of rotate it clockwise, and that kind of gives it a little bit more slack, and now it's totally good here. Okay. Popping these 2 pieces back into place, the left and the right side, just with a nice satisfying click. World's best helper. Guys, if you like these Know With Joe t-shirts, they are available on my website, knowwithjoe.com, linked in the description. Once I got the top left and right into place, then I went below the lift gate and I was able to click those pieces in. Triple checking my work because I'm nervous. These clips are in, these four, oh there we go. There's 4 clips right there. I wouldn't let go just yet, okay? You're good. Okay, so just want to make sure the gaps all look good. This all looks good. We have to do the screws over here. Okay. That all went in nice.
Perfectly.
Perfectly.
Oh, except for that part.
Okay. So under here, I've got these 4 that go in. Okay, look right here. See that? I'm gonna push that button down.
Some button. Got it.
Yeah, there you go. Push it. There you go. Nice.
Oh, yes, you mean this one?
Yeah, don't I'm closed.
You probably give you extra bar.
Okay, one more.
I mean, like, don't close them or you're pretty much not going to use them.
But I can open them again.
How?
I'll show you with this tool I have. All right, so those are all locked in. Okay, now the fun part. Putting the rear fascia back into place. And as is the goal with any project like this, no leftover parts, please. Okay. So this goes in here. Gotta put the tab in first. In the back there's a tab. Let's get the tab in. Okay. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. Appreciate it.
And with these last 6 screws, we're pretty much going to wrap this project up for the day. Overall, pretty easy install.
Clean in here. This probably does not get cleaned very often, if you know what I mean. Kind of a hidden area. Okay, so go over there.
I think I saved a lot of time by not removing the entire rear interior of my vehicle. The fact that I was able to skip ahead and not do any damage to the rear taillights, I think it saved a lot of time, and I just felt it unnecessary since I wasn't doing the full wiring harness install because I wasn't installing the tow hitch.
Back. So there's this tab right here. This tab has to go in first. The tab goes in, and then once the tab is in, okay. Good. Done. Right there like that. Then once you get the tab in, and just go around, punch the trim in. And the trim's all in. Good to go. These final pieces, so there's this tab. So this tab will go in there first, like so, and then just kind of pushes in. There's that one. Let's do this side. Got those. Got these covers right here. Okay. Okay. Easy peasy. One. Okay, there we go. Clicks in. That's it. Roll back together. Now, just to try putting the hitch in. It's the only thing left. This thing, I was not able to get at all. So, right here. See this? This handle. There's a handle here. I had to turn that handle to make it lock open, and when that was open, now that lets the pin be free so that this can now just slide right on in. Watch. Yeah, watch when I go, it's gonna click. Ready? You hear it click? And then let me see if I can get a light up in here. Okay, I'm gonna put a light up here. So now watch, when I undo this, so I'll try and turn this here, turn this, and that opens, and now this comes out, and this thing, so when I click this in, you'll see this thing's gonna pop. That's the pin that locks it into place. So, right here we go. There it was, and the light popped out. Okay, and then with that, now what I can do is, there's a lock here. On this side, there's a lock. This pin that I have these keys for, so that I can push this in, and I can push that in, and that thing is not gonna come out now. So let me confirm. If I try and turn this to lock it, yeah, it will not come out. That's locked in there now. And there we go. We got a hitch. We have a trailer hitch. Yes. Yeah, now it works. So is that right? Is it not going to work when the trailer hitch is in? Let's confirm it one more time. Oh, no, it does still work. That's great. Oh, it still does work even with the hitch in. Awesome. All right, I'm going to take the hitch out for now. Okay. It's like it's a little cover. This little cap, I like that. Keep it clean in there. Okay. All right, guys. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today. This went really well. I was filming, so it took me longer than it would have taken me if I was just kind of going straight through it. It took me 5 hours in total to do that with filming. So I think if I wasn't filming, it'd probably be like a 3.5 to 4 hour long project. It went really well. I'm really excited to have the hitch now. Everything lined back up. Everything went back together super easy. And as I thought, I did not need to take apart the entire bed liner trunk of my vehicle, which instructions were advising me to do. So that saved a ton of time. So please watch the video, like, subscribe. I appreciate any comments, any subscriptions. I appreciate you guys being part of this journey with me, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.